recording. All right, so don't forget. All right, so tonight is April 11th, and a couple of announcements is just to remember that this month is for if you hit Success Club 10 and are going to Summit. So Jess and I know Vanessa, there's a few of us that are going, and Allie, but they're not on. So then you get to go to the Success Club party. So that's something to remember. And then also, you guys, I want to host kind of like a webinar on coaching. So this can be something that you're inviting to as well on April 27th. Yes, it's a Saturday. So I thought we would try like this Saturday instead of like in the evening. And it's at 10 a.m. So that's what I'm going to say for that Saturday, 10 a.m. Central Time. So yeah, we'll do like a coaching webinar and we'll try it on a Saturday and see how it goes. So that's April 27th at 10 a.m. Like I said, you can be inviting to that as well. All right. So here's to hoping I don't get sick. All right, let's do this. For those of you who are just hopping on, I wasn't feeling the best this afternoon, so we'll see what happens. All right, so I was going to talk tonight about growing your social media on Instagram and or growing your business on Instagram and just growing your following on Instagram. And if I start to feel icky, I'll probably just throw it over to like Vanessa or Kayla. You guys have been coaching the longest, or Jessica. So you guys probably know a lot about this too. So anyway, hopefully you guys all have your phones handy because I'm going to have you do some work on there. But basically just pull up Instagram right now. And I don't know, whatever post you see first or second or third, just go into the likes. So right now I saw this girl that they just announced that they're pregnant. So I'm going to go into her posts. So right now go into like your first, second, or third person that you are following that comes up on Instagram. And then just start following people. Like I am not it sounds judgy, but I can usually tell by the person's profile picture if they'd be like a good fit to follow for me. So possibly somebody who is, maybe has, their wedding picture, or, maybe somebody who has pictures of little ones on there, or somebody who's smiling for sure. Smiling is always good. And then, sometimes you don't want people who are also, like I just came across a lot of times, like when you come across a person with a story, also, like who, you can click on that story and see their story. A lot of times they're somebody who's in another MLM. So I just clicked on this girl. It looks like she is, I don't know, like maybe she's not a coach, but she's probably like, I don't know, into fitness or doing something like that. So she's somebody that I wouldn't want. And sometimes that's not the case. So sometimes it's worth clicking on there, especially if their profile is public. But yeah, just follow a few people. And then this one wasn't that great of a hit. That's for sure. So you'll kind of come across that, but that's one thing that I like to do. And it's so easy, just like in the evening, if you're just on your phone and you're just scrolling, it's a good scrolling activity, as I like to say, because you are, you're doing something productive, when you're besides just scrolling. So, yeah, click on who you're following, click on who likes their posts, and then follow people from them. The other thing to do is to go to like boutiques or pages that you follow. So for example, I like, let me see if I can find it now. Which boutique is it? My mind is like failing me. even, let's see, let me go to, let's see, the Red Dress Boutique. See if I can shop the red dress. And I really like that. I've gotten quite a few dresses and stuff from them. They're really cute boutique. So in case you haven't ordered from them. But sometimes you can go through and like maybe you'll see an outfit or something that you really like and you'll click on that post. And then you can also click on see who liked it and then follow people from that. I've also heard like some top coaches also do like TV shows, which I don't know if I'd recommend that. Like I know one of the top coaches, I forget who it is, but she followed, or a lot of her top coaches or her coaches now came from The Bachelor, or like she would go into so say like, I don't know, Hannah B or whatever. Hannah, there was like a few Hannahs on this last Bachelor. So she would go into Hannah and then she would, you know, go into the contestants, the actual, you know, girls who were on the show, and then follow, you know, girls who also followed these girls. Because obviously, like, you're going to have something in common with these girls if they all watch The Bachelor, you know, on Monday nights, or Bachelor in Paradise or whatever. So they're diehard Bachelor fans. So that's kind of cool too. Or else you can do hashtags. So hashtags are kind of like, I don't know, I think they're becoming like a little bit more ancient just because so many people like, you know, like are hashtagging popular things. And that's the wrong thing. You don't want to do that because like say you're going to post a transformation picture or something like that. And a lot of you probably know this. You don't want to hashtag transformation, or you don't want to hashtag like home workouts, or you don't want to hashtag any Beachbody stuff, because other coaches are going to be doing that. And probably most likely just newer coaches do that because that's a pretty like new coach mistake. So one thing to do is to think about hashtags that are kind of in that realm, but kind of outside of the box too. So like if we're like, okay, so I know Kayla had a post that did really well a few weeks ago. And she hashtagged a whole bunch of farm posts, or hashtagged a whole bunch of farm hashtags, farm posts. So anyway, you know, it depends on the post. So if you're doing a fitness post, you're probably, you know, not going to want to hashtag like a whole bunch of like calving season, because obviously the picture isn't of a calving season, but you still could include something in there. So like I sometimes include like farm wife life or something like that. You know what I mean? That it's still my life and I'm a farm wife, you know, or whatever. So, so yeah, like hashtagging kind of something out of the box. Another thing you want to do too is you can search, or like in your hashtag. So if you go to the tags in your Instagram and then you go to like, I don't know, you go to, let's say inspiration. That's a good one because a lot of people say that. So look at how the hashtag inspiration has 137 million posts. You know, and if you're going to hashtag something like that, I would highly recommend not to, because it's just going to get lost, you know, and all of that. Like yours is probably going to end up way at the bottom and nobody's ever going to see that, because who wants to look through 137 million hashtags on inspiration? So if you go to maybe like maybe inspire, I don't know, what should I put? Inspired by, I don't know, let's see, inspired by sunset. I don't know, see what that is. Inspired by sunset, there's 64 posts or 64 hashtags with that. And so that's probably like a good example too, because you probably don't want to put that one either, because that one there's not enough. You know what I mean? Like you kind of want something that's in between, like maybe has maybe 1,000 to maybe 40,000 hashtags, you know, you kind of want something like that golden number. Or if you're doing something like you can hashtag, maybe if you have a cute outfit on or something, you could hashtag like the boutique that you got, or boutiques that you got, you know, your jewelry or whatever from, or your leggings. That's really popular too, because I know a lot of people always say, oh my gosh, I love your leggings. Where'd you get those? So that's always kind of fun to do too. Or hashtagging things even in your living room, like maybe I don't know, behind me there's a picture of a John Deere combine combining corn that Taylor's parents got him for Christmas, but you could hashtag like, you know, corn harvest or hashtag, you know, something in the back. Let's see. Yes, exactly. You could use calving season. Yes, exactly. So if you talked about something in your post, like, you know, maybe talked about calving season or something like that, that you were, you know, had talked about, like today I kind of talked about the blizzard that we were having. So you could hashtag like the blizzard, you know, Indy blizzard or North Dakota something. And then you could, you know, also hashtag like your fitness stuff or whatever, coaching stuff, whatever you're doing. So, let's see. I'm also trying to look through some of my hashtags. Some things that I like to hashtag are sometimes even like, you guys know I love Jessie James Decker. So sometimes I'll hashtag her or I'll hashtag her cookbook. Like if I did a recipe from her cookbook, which I have, those enchiladas are amazing that I do of hers. But yeah, so just kind of rethinking like your Instagram and just being smart about like what you're hashtagging. Like not every post. So it used to be like maybe a year ago or 2 years ago where you could post something and you could have like a list of hashtags. You guys probably even remember me talking about that. You could just copy and paste in the post. You don't want to do that anymore because Instagram will flag you. And plus, like those posts aren't going to be, like I said, not all of them are going to be relevant to the hashtags that you're using. Another good one to use is like beauty products. So if you use a certain makeup, you know, but like I said, think out of the box. So like I like Tarte makeup a lot. So, you know, maybe kind of see like type in Tarte and then see how many hashtags. You know, you probably just don't want to do Tarte because there's probably millions of hashtags. You'd probably want to do like, I like their lights, camera, action mascara, you know, hashtag that. Or, you know, hashtagging certain brands, like I said, of clothes or where you shop. Sometimes I know I'm a huge Hobby Lobby fan, so sometimes I like to hashtag like Hobby Lobby farmhouse. Like if you just hashtag farmhouse or Hobby Lobby, there's like millions of them too. So just kind of like adding more text or adding a couple more words to that hashtag can just help brand you even better on social media and help people find you. Another way to find people on social media is by looking at those hashtags that you know that you see or that you're using. And so maybe by doing, you know, hashtag Hobby Lobby farmhouse or whatever, and looking at all the other people that use that, and you'll probably find more people that use that hashtag. And obviously if you're using like hashtag Bachelor Nation, like that's huge, you know, for us Bachelor fans, like there's going to be millions of people that use that too. So you're not going to want to, you know, you're going to really want to be careful with your hashtags that you're using. Same with Insta stories too. Like, gosh, it's hard with Insta stories. Like I feel like whenever I do hashtag or tag something, you do get more views, but then sometimes those people aren't necessarily going to follow you either. So I don't use hashtags a ton on Insta stories, but you could like if you are wearing a certain brand of leggings, you never know. Like I know Tia loves a certain brand of leggings and she might, you know, hashtag them or tag them and maybe they would shout her out on their page, you know what I mean? And then somebody sees that from their page and goes to Tia's page and follows her. So you just never know. It's just all good things to kind of keep in mind. Yeah, does anybody have any questions or anything that you want to add to that, like that I missed? Nope. Okay. So let's see. I know Tia, you wanted to talk about this. Do you have anything? No. And I just want to, you know, help you as much as I can. So
I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you notice that like when you're going through and like mass following where some people you have like request their like approval and then some of them are just follow that like people that are just follow immediately, they don't really ever seem to follow me back. I only get like good results when I select people that I have to request to follow.
For sure, yeah, and sometimes that does happen because who knows, they might be a larger account too. But for the most part, I don't ever track that, so I can't really say like my results are like higher with one demographic or the other. But yeah, and don't worry about that either. Like just kind of just see who follows you back, and that's the most important thing to do. So basically, the other thing to do is also, so keep I don't have my little journal that I keep people that follow me, but you definitely want to keep track of people that follow you back, because those are the people that you want to be reaching out to, and those are the people that I send this message to. So I'll put it in the chat so you guys have it. All right. And so I'll usually say like, hey Kayla, like, or whatever, and then send that. And sometimes it's different too. Sometimes if they have a kid, I'll like, personalize it a little bit more or whatever. And then once I message that person, I'll go back and like a few of their photos, maybe comment on some, I usually just like to send that message just to get it over with. And then I'll go back to their page and then, and then I will also from their page go into their pictures again and see like, okay, maybe there's one that was really cute or something. Maybe there's one of like their little guy on the farm or something or whatever, you know what I mean? And then you can go into that and then see who else likes it. Maybe they had a wedding picture or whatever, and then you can find a whole bunch of people that way to follow too. And sometimes you'll kind of know, like, sometimes it's kind of hit and miss. Like when you follow mass people like that, like Kayla said, you don't know who's going to follow you back. And sometimes you'll go to their page and they'll be like, oh my gosh, like, why did I follow this person? Like, I have nothing in common. So you can just unfollow her. You could still send her this message and say, thanks for following me, but I personally wouldn't choose to follow more people from this person, because if you don't have anything in common with this person, obviously you're probably not going to have anything common with her friends or who she follows. So just kind of a rule of thumb that I like to use. And pretty much for the most part, I have really good engagement with sending that message. Better than inviting on Facebook lately. Inviting on Facebook lately sucks. And just the engagement is really down too, I think, on Facebook. Like it's just kind of the same people, like, and like you guys, like my staff, and then like maybe a couple other girls from our group. It's like the same people, or at least Instagram, you kind of get a little bit more of a variety of people. Another thing to do that you can do, of course you guys know this, is thanking people for liking your posts and then sending them an invite on Instagram. Thanking people for watching your stories and sending them an invite. That's what I've been trying to do a lot more of lately, because I feel like I do have pretty good engagement with my stories. And so I feel like it's, you're missing out on people, you know what I mean? Because some people follow you and maybe you don't follow them back, and you kind of miss those people. They kind of fall through the woodwork. So make sure that, maybe invite with like maybe you're inviting 10 people from Instagram a day. So maybe invite 10 people who watch your stories a day, too. It's pretty quick and easy. It's a simple message. You don't have to, have anything fancy or drawn out. Anybody else have any questions or anything that Vanessa or Krista? Go ahead. Go ahead, Krista.
Okay, so it's more geared towards Facebook, but I've been having calls with Rose recently, and one of the things I was talking to her about was that sometimes I feel like I have really good posts, but I get like no engagement on them, and she gave me the suggestion of going to like at least 10 other people's pages, like not just seeing like their status or something, but actually clicking on them and like scrolling a little bit through their profile, and then like commenting and liking on a few different things before you post, because the more active you are on other people's pages, the more that your post is going to show up on other people's news feeds.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Or even like when you are, sometimes I'll try to do a post like right after you're done talking to people or like wishing happy birthday messages. That's a really great time to do a post because you've already messaged these people. So Facebook will be like, whoa, like this girl's been busy. She messaged a lot of people. So they're going to show your post to more people too. Vanessa?
All right, I had a question. Basically, like when I'm going through and finding people to follow, I'm finding a lot of people who are on like Weight Watchers, and I'm trying to think of what the other company is. It starts like with a A, and then there's like a bunch of like people who are into fitness that do like First Form. Would you just like, or they'll follow me? Would you just not? Oh, I think Arbonne's the other one that seems like I keep running into all these people. Would you still like follow them back in hopes that maybe they would see that what they're doing, maybe they need more accountability and join like one of our groups, or do you just completely like leave those people?
Yeah, I would just completely not follow them back because they're
Okay.
probably set, you know what I mean? Like everybody, like, you know, and when you have or not a competition, but like something to bring your best, you know, even the fair, you know, you bring your best horse or whatever, like everybody's going to think their horse is the best, right? So it's kind of the same thing with this business too. Like everybody's going to try to think like, oh, like I just had a lady message me the other day that, you know, if I was interested in essential oils. And I was like, no, because like Erica George from our group does oils, and I did buy a couple oils from her, you know, and so I was like, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Like I'm just oils, I mean, they're fine, but I'm just not a huge oil person. So, but yeah, I mean, everybody's gonna think that, you know, their product is the best. So I'd just say, just forget about it. And once in a while you get that person that maybe will, but it's very far in between, or few in between. Is it far? Yeah, few in between. Whatever. Anybody else?
What do you think was the biggest thing that helped you grow your Instagram? Like if you could pick like one thing.
Definitely the following people and then following their followers. That's what helped me grow. And then Tia, I use Captivate app to unfollow people on the weekends that don't follow you back. And that's the biggest thing. That's how I grew up my Instagram. Because literally last year it was in when I went to my grandpa's last year in June. Because I remember this clearly because that's when I hit 2,000 followers. And I was like, yes, that's so awesome. And now I'm over 5, which is pretty good. Like I feel like that's a pretty decent, like 3,000 followers and something in less than a year. And that's just from doing that. I didn't do any boosts or paid, you know, anything. Because they do have like the paid people that you can, like, they run your account in the background or whatever. But now Instagram doesn't like that and it'll flag you. But this Captivate app is really awesome for unfollowing people. So definitely get that. That's probably the easiest way to unfollow people. And it only lets you unfollow 50 at a time. And then it'll sometimes say like, oh, Instagram denied your request because that's because you've unfollowed too many people, so you don't want to get flagged. So then you just come back like later on in the day or the next day and you follow, you know, more, unfollow more.
Do you have the paid version of Captivate?
I do. I think it was like $3 or $2 or something like that to get like the unlimited whatever unfollows or whatever it is.
Yeah, I recently watched a training on it, and so I just bought the paid version right away, and it's really cool because you can use it to follow people too, and so you can put a bunch of people in your cloud and then it'll just follow however many every minute. So
yes, I've had a couple thoughts. So since then, so like Tia said, trainings are really great. So like go on YouTube, excuse me, and like you know, watch training videos like on Instagram, but make sure they're recent. You know, you want 2019. You know, you don't want to watch something from 2017 because it's probably not going to be relevant anymore, or the way the algorithms have changed. So trainings on YouTube are huge, even for how to like run Captivate, like Tia said, or you know, whatever unfollow app that you're using. People probably have tips and tricks, which I haven't even done on Captivate. I just do my own thing. And then the other thought that I had is when Vanessa said like other fitness companies, something else, like a good hashtag would be, of course, I love the Pioneer Woman too, so I hashtag a lot of her stuff, or even like doing fitness magazines, so like Women's Health Magazine, or, you know, if you get any magazines, I don't know if you guys are magazine readers or not, but, you know, sometimes like maybe hashtagging, you know, some of those, or even like, what was the other one? Like Family Circle, I think that's one too, that's kind of more like family orientated or whatever. But yeah, doing something like that would also be good, or even hashtagging like Carrie Underwood's line of, I haven't even bought anything from her line of workout clothes, but, you know, doing something, I think it's like Calia or whatever it is. Yeah. So doing something like that, too, you know, but like I said, you might get people, you know, who are coaches. I feel like Fabletics is getting too coachy saturated right now. Because a lot of people know about that. Obviously, they advertise on TV and things like that. But I feel like maybe Carrie Underwood is a little less, like maybe she appeals to more of the, I don't know, not the Beachbody crowd. I don't know. I haven't ever hashtagged her stuff, so I wouldn't know. It's just a thought that I had.
I was gonna say too, I don't know, I don't have an iPhone, so like I can't get the Captivate app. Like I've tried searching for it, so I don't know. It seems like most people have iPhones, but if you don't, like what I use is the Unfollow app, and I think it basically does the same thing. Like it also does, like I saw someone post on like Team Arise that you can like do the mass following, but I know we're supposed to stay away from that, so I don't do anything with that. I basically just use it to unfollow the people that follow me. I do the free version, so like there is like ads and stuff that pop up, but it basically does the same thing. Like you can follow like or unfollow 50 people who don't follow you in like I think like every half hour or something, basically like what Alicia was saying. And then like if there's people that you would still like to follow that don't follow you, you can also like whitelist them or whatever so that you can still be like a follower. So if it's like, you know, a family member or like a friend who doesn't follow you because maybe they got annoyed with your fitness stuff, but you still care about like some of their Instagram things, then you can kind of have the option to do that too. So that's one I use.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the same with Captivate. You can do the same thing too. Or even like if you like to follow like I said, I love Jessie James Decker, so I follow her. Obviously, she doesn't follow me back, like rude, but anyway, yeah, so I like have her on a whitelist too. Anybody else have anything to add that I missed or that is important, or questions?
Okay, I have another question. And I think we talked about this, so it's kind of a question for anybody else, but when if I put a poll on something random, like not fitness related, a bunch of people will click on it, answer it. But if it's fitness related, it's crickets. Like, am I the only one, or am I doing something wrong? Anybody have anything to say about that?
I always find that I get more engagement on the ones that are not fitness related, just because I think that people do get scared, like, of putting themselves out there and admitting that they're kind of vulnerable in that area, where like with other things, it's more like, oh, fun fact. Like, I think like one of the polls was like, do you like pickles? And people are just like, you know, just kind of that more like fun mood or whatever. But I think it's still important to do like the informal ones and the fitness related ones, because hopefully it kind of like helps to build their confidence towards, you know, like voting in those polls and realize that maybe it's not so scary. So that's kind of my thoughts. I usually get a couple people that vote every time. And then like one of my husband's friends votes opposite every single time. So so I do always get at least some engagement most of the time on my fitness, but it's like drastically less. Like sometimes only like a couple people, and sometimes it's coaches. So like you guys and stuff, which I appreciate, like, cause at least it's like, okay, someone's responding here. So yeah.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that I'm learning that with my crowd on Facebook, I get pretty good engagement on my fitness posts, but it's only if it's about my fitness journey. So I've been trying to share more about other people on the team. Like today I posted about Jessica Bryson from Team Arise, and it was like nothing. Like Instagram, Facebook, like silent because nobody knows her. But when it's my own transformations, when it's my own story, that's when I get a lot of people that respond. But I'm trying to make it so that people can see if they're not like me, there are other people that are like them that these products work for as well, but it doesn't seem to work with my crowd.
I have to agree with you, Krista. That's the same with mine. So that's why I stopped doing like transformation photos. So if you do want to do transformation photos, the best way to do it is do like, you know, when you post, do like the carousel post, you know, so people scroll through. So do yours first and do your, you know, how make it pretty, you know, or put your filter on or whatever you do, and then have, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, whatever other pictures that you're sharing with that and saying these are on, you know what I mean? Like saying something about it. I've seen, I know Mandy Kai does that. I sometimes go to her page, you know, just to kind of look at what she's doing or whatever. She's like a top coach this year or whatever. So I like her inspiration and stuff like that, or her page, but I don't agree with her lifestyle, but I'll just say that. So just hang on, Taylor wants something. Anyway. So yeah, does anybody else have any other questions? We have a few minutes left. Nope. All right, we'll take a picture quickly. All right, with this hot mess, it's awful. All right, everybody smile. All right, I got a few of them, so. All right, well, thanks for hopping on tonight. I'll get this call up for everybody else who wasn't able to make it. And yeah, like I said, I appreciate you guys hopping on. And don't forget to be inviting to the team webinar then that'll have on the 27th. And nobody has to, excuse me, oh my gosh, this pregnancy is like having me burp so much, it's crazy. Anyway, it's on the Saturday, April 27th at 10 a.m. And it's nothing you guys have to do. It'll just be me talking and hopefully I'll feel better. So, all right, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.